for life. Thanks for making it. We're doing another live stream. This is of the latest Robot Paradise RP-01B, the Cassetticons. So as you can see here, this is like the set of tapes that came with Robot Paradise's acoustic wave, their sound wave. And this is their Corvus, Shadow, and Farib. So the opposite of I don't even remember the other one's name. Fibber, yeah, Fibber, I think was the name before. But let's go ahead and get started with packaging review. So really small package. It's only like a inch and a half, maybe 2 inches in width. There's not a lot of stuff on here, but what's on here is really nice embossed deco. Hey G Tony, how's it going? You can see their Laserbeak, their Ravage / Jaguar, and then their Rumble or Frenzy, depending on your color preference. Hey, just call me BB. Nothing on the sides here since it's so thin. And on the back, we do see the robot modes or animal modes, whatever you want to call it. And then the alt mode, the cassette modes on the back here. And these are pretty accurate. So the Cassetticons are the Hereticons covert reconnaissance team. So as you can see, it goes with their acoustic wave, which we'll bring out in a bit. Out of packaging, it comes in a clamshell, plastic clamshell, as well as a little baggie with instructions and bio cards. So let's open that up. I haven't even actually looked at the bio cards. Yeah, I said your whole name. I can read. So they're all plastic, very nicely done. They all have the same background, just different images on the front. So I thought it'd be nice if they could like make it a whole scene, but no, they all have the same background. Hey, T-Man. All right, so on the back here, we get their stats as well as some bios. The Ravage one is really, really short compared to the others. Like you can see how long these are, but this one's just like really short. But you guys can read this on your own time. Hey, King Rouse, how's it going? The instructions, as you might expect, are pretty good. They're nice colored instruction manuals. I do find it really frustrating when they show you instructions for, what's it called? The opposite direction. So they show you from the alt mode into the cassette, but they all come in cassette. So that's just really kind of annoying. And then they show you some accessories and stuff like that. Obviously, their Rumble, their fur rib is going to be the exact same as their Fibber, their red one. So let's go ahead and get this unboxed. It does come in a plastic clamshell. It is taped on all 4 sides, which is kind of annoying. We'll just move this off to the side. And as you can see, we get the pile drivers up here, which are kind of annoying to get out. Like so. Come on. We have the tapes themselves. They are nicely plastic wrapped. Oh, no. Oh, no. Okay, well, we're going to get him out later. And then the accessories for the blue guy. And then we have cassette holders or cassette cases for all of them. Here, let me just get these all kind of displayed. Like so. Hey, Sportimus, how's it going? We all love Pig for Life. Yay! Compare them to the MMC set cap pack. I definitely will. Don't be in such a rush. We definitely will do comparisons with all of them. And then we got the heads and the guns. So this is all you get with the set. Kind of expected. The only guy we're really kind of missing here is Ratbat, which I'm guessing they'll give with the repaint of Acoustic Wave into Sound Blaster. So let's look at them individually. You can see here they're not as cassette shaped as the originals. Let me bring out one. They're not as actually rectangular. So as you can see here, Laserbeak, you can see very clearly the legs and the head, the missiles, and even the coloring is not, trying to hide it to be as accurate as the original. tapes. They are nice and heavy. These are mostly die cast, I would say. Maybe not mostly, but a large amount of this is die cast, which is really nice. What you come to expect from Robot Paradise / Fans Toys. We'll take a look at their Rumble. As you would expect, it looks just like their... I don't know why Google is talking to me, but anyway, it looks just like their Frenzy. Nicely painted and detailed. And here is their Laserbeak or Condor, depending if you prefer the Japanese name. And once again, just taking a quick look at it with the original, it doesn't have some of the cassette details, but does look much more rectangular than Jaguar or Ravage. This side, not so much. And you can already see some paint scrapes in here for some of the transformations. The transformation is pretty basic, not as simple as some cassettes as you might think, but still pretty simple, pretty enjoyable. Here are the pile drivers. Really quickly, just like before, if you press down on this, they are spring loaded and they pop out. And then you can lock them back into place by closing it up and pushing this tab back in. They have little armholes here, which will show off, even though we've shown these before. The heads that we get with the Rumble, you get the angry face and the smirking face, along with the already installed smiling face. Oh yeah, I forgot they don't have Buzzsaw here, so maybe Buzzsaw will come with Sound Blaster as well. And the last bit of accessories besides the cassette holders are the guns. Again, same deal as with their Frenzy. You have one piece that's die cast. You have like this chrome piece at the tip, and then the plastic body. This does transform and does allow you to store in cassette mode very quickly. Let's show that off. You're going to fold this down, fold this up. Same thing on this. And the secret is, or the trick is, to make sure that this little notch lines up with the folded up piece here. So when you store it, you're going to store it in this way, but you can see that this one doesn't line up. So you want this one. You have these two little tabs here and slots in the bottom. I'm going to tab that in. If you can manage it. Come on. Come on. There we go. Like that. And so you have that little wing and the little cutout right on the chest here. So when you fold that up, it should slot right in there. I say that and then it doesn't seem to want to work. There we go. Same thing on the other side here. So remember to align the notch with the front of the chest on both sides. Like so. So you got storage. Each of the cassette tapes holders are just like we got before. They open up like this. They don't open up all the way around like you would imagine some of them to do. You just close them up. Not really much to show there. And before we go ahead and do some transformation and stuff like that, hey Carl Summerfield, sorry if I'm missing you guys' comments. We'll just open up the chest here. We'll get out their Frenzy. Come on. Show off a quick comparison here. As you imagine, they're basically the same. But we can finally show off what it would look like if we have multiple tapes stored. So let's throw in Laserbeak. Come on. There we go. Remember that there is a little spring-loaded section in the back section here, so you kind of want to go in like this. So it looks like you can only hold 2 tapes. Go ahead and press this, get this out, and then we can finally make use of, come on. Come on. Come on. All right, there we go. We can finally make use of this little notch thing, this action, that pushes these guys out. Does a decent job, I suppose, of doing that. It does feel very rudimentary compared to the official MP one, but you can store 2 of them in here. I was hoping maybe you could store 3, but that doesn't seem to be the case, unfortunately. You can only get like 2 of them in there. All right, well, you get the idea. All right. With that, we'll keep him out to the back for now. We will need him later to show off some of the playability. So let's go one by one. Let's start off with Rumble just because he has the most stuff and we already know kind of what to expect with him. So we can get through him very quickly. Transforming him is pretty easy. Just bring down the legs. If you have the weapon stored, it would be a good time to get them out. They do tend to stick, so remember they are tabbed in there. So just give them a little jostle and a shake. Get these guns out. We're going to rotate at the knees and then spread out and lock the waist that extends. Remember with these knees, you don't want to just pull them straight. You have to basically fold them in on, oops, sorry. You basically have to fold them in on themselves a little bit to release them. Now, of course, I say that and now I can't get it done. So like that, and then you can straighten them out. Same thing on this side. So basically bend the knee all the way through, straighten that out. The foot is on a double hinge. You're gonna want to extend that, get the heel pulled out like so. Come on. There we go. The arms just come down like this. They have a basically accordioned fist, forearm, and bicep. Like so. Hey, Darth Coconut, how's it going? Oh, you're from the UK. Good morning, Robot Lucas and Darth Coconut. I guess both of you guys are from the UK. And then just bring the arms down like so. He looks really goofy if you bring the arms too far down to the side. So go ahead and just bring it down like that probably. And finally the head, pull that up and around. And there we have Furrib in his robot mode. Same thing with the accessories that we had before. We can go ahead and reverse the transformation, bring that flap down. Use this little nub. Hey, OG Shocks. Oh, another UKer. Man, you guys are up late. What's that? You guys are like five hours ahead right now with daylight savings? Or maybe it's more than that. You can tab that into the back for his little backpack, jetpack looking mode. Alternatively, you can use the back half of the notch as a handle. I will say it's super annoying. These things are really kind of small, and they do tend to fall off very easily. I find that super annoying with these guys, just posing them, putting on the pile driver and stuff like that. They tend to fall off very easy. Hey, Memo. All right, so what else can you do? Really, that's it. As far as the accessories go, we've already kind of covered everything else. As before, we showed how to swap the head. The heads are just on a little mushroom peg. You just pop it out. I'm going to go ahead and put the smirking face on because I like mine a little bit happy. There we go. Well, not smirking, smiling. And then for the pile drivers, we're going to reverse the transformation on the arms, flip these up. The one thing you want to do is extend at the shoulder, bring this up, and you install them like that. So very basic, very easy. And again, pushing down at the bottom here, releases it, close that back up and push the top to lock it back in place. Articulation wise, we got the same kind of details that we had with their Frenzy. Head is on a swivel. As we saw, that mushroom peg can go up and down. Oh yeah, you do want to pull the shoulders out. I don't know if I mentioned that. I thought I did. Maybe I didn't. But yeah, clearly I did pull the shoulders out when you do the transformation for the pile drivers. You can do it for robot mode too, but it just looks really goofy. So collapse that down. Shoulder-wise, he has that hinge that goes all the way up. And then this rotational joint here, again, depending on how you want to rotate it, you might need to extend that out so you can get it up like that. It looks kind of goofy. He has a weird side bend. He does have an elbow bend, one pin joint, more than 90 degrees. And then wrist-wise, he doesn't have much. He does have the transformation joint there. Upper body, he doesn't have any rotational joint or ab crunch at the waist, but he does have these kind of designed hips that go in like that and out to the side. Mushroom pegged thighs, which go 360 degrees. He has double jointed knees, so he can go all the way back like that. And then coming down to the feet, he has a ball peg and a hinge. So the ball peg goes into the shin itself, which gives you a little bit of rocking, not a ton, forward and back. And then the hinge itself allows you to go forward and back with the toe. The heel is on that pin that allowed you to transform it. Hey Hans, how's it going? I feel like it's been forever. And that's really it for him. We're going to put him off to the side. Peg this on his back again. See, it's just too easy to get this to pop out. All right, there we go. Put him off next to his boss for now. Let's go ahead and deal with Jaguar next. All right, so Jaguar or Ravage, as we all know him, in the West, pretty easy to transform as well. So what we'll do is go ahead and actually, I like doing it this way first. So on the bottom here, there's a couple of pegs or tabs that hold the legs in place. You want to get that straightened out. Oh, actually, we'll do that later. Get these legs straightened out, and then there's the tail here that the front paws are pegged into. Bring this back. From here, bring the little rockets on the sides. Again, these guys have a lot of die cast in them, so very nice and hefty. So you can see these chrome pieces here. Same thing on the other side. Fold this down. Flip this little flap up. This flap here, flip it up so it sticks out to the side. And then you have a hinge along with a ball joint. So you want, looking from the top is the easiest way to explain it. You just kind of spread back and along this hinge to get a little bit more width in the rear legs, the hind legs. We'll go ahead and move Ravage's head all the way forward. And from here, we're going to flip up 180 degrees and form the body. There's a little tab here that flips around and kind of locks this flap into place with the main body, and you'll bring the front legs down. Same thing on this side, flip this up, lock it in place with this tab, bring the legs down. And with that, you have, what was his name? Shadow. They're Ravage in alt mode, or robot mode, sorry, not alt mode. So he looks pretty good. A quick 360 of him in hand. He's nice and metallically painted, just like his brethren. Nice chrome details here. Nice paint. He does look a little weirdly shaped. You can see here that he's just like a really thin piece here, and then he has holes here and here. Looking here, he looks really gappy and so forth, even the hind legs. And the front legs, looking at him from the front, he does look very svelte and thin and boxy. The hind legs are nice because they come out, so you can articulate them like this on the hinge and the ball joint that goes into the hips themselves. The mouth does open, and he has little teeth in there. The one thing I really don't like about this version is that his eyes actually protrude out. I think that's a weird choice, like the eyes like come out of his head. I don't know why you would have that, but I think it makes it look a little weird. The other thing is that I don't like the shape of the ears. It keeps making me think that he's a Doberman. I said that before when I saw the promo images. He looks kind of like Doberman-ish, more like a dog than, you know, a Jaguar. His head is on, I think, a ball peg. Yeah, a ball peg. So you can get a lot of left and right, as well as a little bit up, a little bit down. there's a hinge on the neck itself that goes to the body. So you can look up and down. He has 2 joints, kind of at the shoulder and elbow, and then at the wrist. He doesn't get any outward or anything like that because this is the way it transforms. So you don't get any outward movement on the front paws. No articulation in the mid-body itself. This is all just one solid piece. On the legs, we kind of talked about it. He has the hinge here with a ball peg. It does let you get a lot more movement. It can go all the way around if you wanted to, or maybe not. Yeah, you can. Okay, I don't know why I was getting restricted there. So you get a lot of movement there. The missiles are on these hinges. They look kind of weird just because they're like half missiles on each side. And then again, he has kind of the, I guess, backwards knee joint and then the ankle joint there. The tail itself is oddly shaped. It's kind of a angular piece. So you do get a little bit of articulation, I guess, but it's hinged at the bottom here. So it breaks up the look a little bit if you have it more down, anywhere basically other than straight back. And he has a bit of gaps here, so he does look a little weird. We'll do a comparison with the official ones in a bit. Last up, we have Laserbeak or Condor or whatever they call him, Covert. No, Corvus. So this one is probably my favorite of the bunch, even though it's just as simple as the others. What we want to do is come to this side, flip these up on the double hinges, like so. Next up, I like to flip these die-cast missiles all the way around 180 degrees on that hinge first. Then we'd come up. There's a double hinge here. This at the base here on the red, and then another one here. You want to use the one at the base to bring it up 90 degrees. And then you're basically going to flip this 180 degrees all the way around, like so. Same thing on this side. Flip this up at the base, 90 degrees, and then rotate this 180 degrees, like so. You will have a bit of a gap in there, but that's okay. You'll bring the legs around and down. The wings, you're going to rotate at this hinge, mushroom peg 180 degrees, and then you can rock them back. And then his beak and head itself, you can just pull out. You can pull that out at any time. For some reason, they kind of tell you to do it last or first, depending on which direction you're going. And there we have Laserbeak or Corvus, whatever they're calling him. I think Corvus. He's probably my favorite of the set. He is pretty unique. He does have a lot of good articulation. As far as playability, unfortunately, his beak does not open. He does have the camera in the forehead, like so. You just kind of push up on that. It doesn't come up all that far, but you can see that here. He has a hinge at the neck. No rotation though, so he just has this hinge. He can't look left, he can't look right. It would have been nice if he had some kind of ball joint. I don't know why they couldn't have done that here with this. And then he has a hinge here, so he can look up and down, kind of do the chicken look, like so. His feet are on a little hinge here, can also swivel around on this pin. The wings are the most articulated part. So as we saw before, he can flex it forward, flex it back. He does have a rotational joint. He also has a hinge here, so he can flap up and down. He has double hinges at in the middle of his wings, so you can get a good amount of poses. You can't do a whole lot going folded back. You probably could, but the way it's molded is not really designed to go back. It's supposed to go straight. You could probably force it. I'm not going to do it on mine, but you could probably force it to go back. But it's really meant to kind of look like this. One other piece of playability is that he does have these slots on his feet. And as we expected when we got their acoustic wave, these tabs here and here are what these are used for. So you can bring his arm out and then tab him on either foot. I do think that the tolerances are a little weak here, so just be careful if you're going to be using this to display. It's not as snug as the official one. And again, you can go ahead and put him on the shoulder as well, either foot. The wings do kind of get in the way, so try not to poke Soundwave in his eye visor. Here, let me get the shoulder down. You can tab it on like so. The one on the shoulder is a little bit better tolerance than the ones on the arms. So let me bring out the official guys to do comparisons. So here he is with MP13, but let me bring out the individual comparisons one at a time. So let's start with, hey, Slow DK. So here is Laserbeak. Let's get the official one out. Where is he? Right there. Definitely more cartoony look, not as, you know, quote unquote realistic on the designs here. They basically have the same overall posability and functionality. This one does have a little bit more articulation in the wings, which is definitely nice. I do think this gray paint is kind of weird. It looks almost like clay. It's like very matte. I don't know if I like that gray. I don't think it really matches anything else in this set, really. Same thing here. I would have liked it to maybe match their Acoustiwave a little bit more, but I think that's just a personal choice. I do have the MMC one, as somebody requested. Hey, Frankly Lawless, how's it going? Here he is with the MMC one. Obviously, this one's much, much bigger, being a full-size cassette. So, as you would expect, not really a fair comparison here. Much more complex and involved transformation, a lot more details. While I do really love this MMC version, it definitely does not scale well. It looks more like a vulture or something like that. A big turkey, like a turkey vulture, something huge. All right, so that is it for the Laserbeaks. Let's bring on the Jaguars. Here is the official one. So the one thing I want to compare really quickly is you can see here, even though they're same size tapes in tape mode, you can see just how much bigger and bulkier he does look than the official one. It looks definitely much more cartoon accurate overall. And it looks more natural. It doesn't have, it has more curvature, not this weird like hinge in the middle. So they did a really good job, even though this one does seem kind of gappy and has its issues with trying to fill out. The fact that they were able to expand and make it look so much bigger, like the shape of the legs and the face and everything like that, the shoulders, definitely look more realistic in the same overall volume. So they did a really good job there. The official one looks starved. That does look to be the case. And then of course the MMC one, probably one of my this probably is my favorite of the MMC tapes. He still looks really awesome. I like the scale that he represents, or that he kind of lives up to. So much bigger, obviously. But I also just love the design that you can make him like twist and turn, and he looks a little bit more organic. So I love this figure. I think I'm gonna want to get the re-release because mine is definitely loose for the first version. All right. So let's get these guys out the way and then finish off with Rumble or Frenzy. Again, depending on your preference for names. Here he is with my already posed Rumble here. Let me just at least straighten him out so we can get a better idea in terms of scale and height. And again, same size, essentially the same size tape mode, but a much larger robot mode. So they do a really good job making use of the extra volume. Here he is with MMC's Rumble. I should have taken him out of this case here. so. Obviously, again, much bigger, being a full-size cassette instead of a micro cassette. And coming to the back. I do have I forget if it's the repro labels or the ones that came with the Ocular Max set, but yeah, the real downside about this guy is just how hollow he is all the way in the back of the legs, both the shins or calves and the thighs, as well as the head. Obviously, MMC did a much better job with that, but it's pretty comparable to what the official one did. All right, so that's it for comparisons. Hopefully that quenched your thirst for various comparisons. Let's bring out the Robot Paradise ones and have them stand next to their boss, and we'll get the official one standing next to official Soundwave. All right. With that, I think we're good with comparisons. We're going to go ahead and transform these guys back and call it a night. I'm not going to lie, I'm not feeling all that hot today, so I don't want to keep this going too long. And since these guys are pretty simple, let's just hurry through and get them back into their alt mode. All right, so we'll start off again with Rumble, just because we know what to expect with this guy. Take off the gun, transform it, just so we can store it later. Same thing with this one. Flip this in. Hold on to this for now. Thanks, Carl. I appreciate that. I mean, I don't feel like super sick, but just within the half hour before starting, I got kind of a headache, so I don't know what's going on there. Hope I'm not sick before the holidays. All right, so get the arms folded up like so. Thanks, call me BB. Thanks, Evil Ash. Good to see you. Fold these up like so. Like that. With the legs, fold in the heels. We're going to make use of that ball peg and just get these rocked down so they're a little bit more flush with the edge here. I'm going to fold up the leg like this, and collapse that in, rotate like so. Same thing on the other side, fold in the heel, fold in the toe, rotate, get this folded in, collapse the waist, and then let's go ahead and load these guys up. So again, the flap needs to go towards the front of the chest when it's tucked in. So this one has to be this way. Remember, it does have a tab there, so make sure it's tabbed in. Don't just rest it in there. There's an actual tab, like so. And fold this up. Fold this up. And there we have Rumble, the blue guy, fur rib in alt mode. Jaguar, he's probably the most complicated just because there are a couple of things that you kind of want to do in order to make it easier on yourself. So let's start with the legs. I want to get them up so he's has his hands to the roof, raising the roof. We're going to go ahead and untab this flap here and this flap here. Just open them all the way up. These will fold all the way down using these double hinges. We do want to get these kind of situated like this. You'll see that there's a tab on both legs, a tab and a slot that corresponds on both kind of the knees or whatever, or elbows. You can tab those in, get the head up and around like so. On the hips in the back, again, you want to collapse them by pushing them forward on that hinge. Make use of that ball joint. fold this down on both sides and then flip these up 180 degrees using those double hinges to look like that. Next up, the hind legs, we're just going to collapse them all the way down like so. There you have to go in first. Then you can bring the tail up and around. And again, there's a little set of tabs on both sides that correspond to the paws, the inside of the paws. So once you get these in like so, they tab in, just give it a little squeeze. And with that, you have Ravage in his tape mode. Last but not least, we have Laserbeak. Fold up his little camera, straighten out his neck, and then you're just going to slide this back like so. Rotate the wings 180 degrees. Push them up towards the front. We're going to rotate these silver pieces at the hinge up here first. I'm going to rotate them 180 degrees like this, basically. And then use the base joint to come around. Once you're here, this is a little bit of alignment that you have to take care of. So these wings don't sit flush onto this red side, this decorated side. They have to sit in a little bit. You basically want to line up this edge with this edge here. That will give you enough space for when you rotate this around, so you're not running into that. So I just showed it to you on that side, but same thing on this side here. You want to rotate the jetpack or whatever booster piece first, then use the base hinge to come around. Get this piece, get this black piece kind of forward like that. Rotate the gun to the side. We can come to the feet. We're going to just rotate them around and down like so. And the very last thing is we're going to make use of these double hinges to come down and around this chest, body piece, red body piece. And these little points kind of sit over here. There's no real tab. You just kind of use friction here. I do wish they tabbed onto something, but these work just fine for what they are. And with that, we have Laserbeak in his cassette mode. So that's really it for the review. Not much else to talk about here. These guys were, I believe, $120 US retail, which makes these about $40 a piece with the accessories and so forth. I don't think that's a terrible deal, but especially given all the die cast we have. But it does seem like a lot for a remold of this and 2 cassettes. But then again, the official ones were super expensive as well. If I remember the 2 packs that they had, I think they were something like $50 or $60 if I remember. When they're released. So I don't think it's a bad deal, but $120 for 3 cassettes, when you think about it like that, it does seem like a pretty expensive price. So obviously I got these from Toy Dojo, my sponsor. I'll be sending out about 50 or 60 of these over the next day or two to anybody who ordered them kind of on the East Coast. So if you got your tracking number and it seems to be coming from Virginia, that'll be me. I'll be packing those up tonight and in the morning and hopefully get them out. Unfortunately, they probably won't make it to you by Christmas, but at least you'll know that Christmas Eve your Santa, robot Santa is coming. All right, so I didn't look at basically any comments during this whole live stream, but let's see what people are saying. Happy holidays from Carl Summerfield. I appreciate that. He says, happy holidays, everyone. Evil Ash thinks the MMC are the best. I mean, I think that makes sense given how big they are and so forth. They also are the most expensive, so it kind of makes sense. Frankie Lawless says, should have had Buzzsaw and Rat-Bat for that price. I think that would be a lot for 5. But hopefully my hope upon hope is that their acoustic wave or their sound blaster, when it comes out, will come with both tapes for kind of the same price that we got for just acoustic wave and their Frenzy. So hopefully they'll do that, because otherwise I don't know how they're gonna split up the tapes with Sound Blaster. I mean, Rat Bat makes sense, but I don't think they'll do a one pack for Buzzsaw. So I'm thinking that they'll probably add both tapes to Sound Blaster. Hey, Alex B, how's it going? Thanks. I'm wishing you a happy holiday as well. Santa Pake, yeah. Happy Festivus for the rest of us, says Steve. Sportimus says, Pick for Life, do you find Acoustic Wave's tape door latch to be a bit fragile? Also, the tape door latch, I don't know about the latch itself. I think this works really well. I just think this mechanism is kind of janky. I said this before, it definitely feels like overall this Acoustic Wave sound wave design does feel old. I don't know how much they changed it or modernized it, because it was supposed to be one of their first full release figures. These tapes, I feel like they were redesigned overall. I felt they feel a little bit more modern in some of their choices and designs and so forth. Oh, let me do actually a quick weight test on the tapes. I don't always do the weight test, but some people really like to know about the die cast and so forth. So let's see here. Let's compare their Buzzsaw / Laserbeak repaint. It is 0.4 ounces or 12 grams. The Robot Paradise is 34 grams, so almost 3 times the weight in a similar package. I do think it's a little bit thicker, but it's very not noticeable in hand, the thickness. Their Jaguar is 36. So it is 3 times as heavy as their Laserbeak compared to their Jaguar. The official Jaguar is only 10 grams compared to, what did I say, 36. So 3.5 times as heavy. And what was the Rumble? Here, let me get rid of his add-ons. We'll keep his guns. The official one is 12 grams with his guns. And this one with his guns already installed, that is 34. So again, almost 3 times as heavy. Again, there's a lot of die cast. When you pick them up, they definitely do feel cool to the touch for the most part. So if you like your hefty figures, I think you'll like these. They feel very sturdy and very posable. So I think you'll enjoy them for sure. So that's really it for the review, guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for making it on Christmas Eve at 9 o'clock. And to the 60 plus of you who made it, as well as the 30 of you who liked the video, I really appreciate it. Let's see. Hans says, Happy Holidays. Now for FT to finally finish up the Stunticons. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. Their Stunticons are probably some of my favorite figures that they've released in almost ever. Transfan365 says, Rat Bat, Overkill, and Slugfest in a 3-pack. But if BS comes... BS comes with SB. Oh, Buzzsaw comes with Sound Blaster. That might prevent people from purchasing both sets. Yeah, I guess. I mean, I feel like Rat Bat definitely obviously goes with Sound Blaster. I guess they could do Overkill, Slugfest, and Buzzsaw as a 3-pack, but I mean, that might be the case. But I feel like Overkill and Slugfest are not all that popular, so I don't know. Evil Ash says, no, this is FT's first release under the RP name. Well, I mean, I guess Acoustic Wave, yeah. I don't think Fans Toys under their proper name has done repaint remolds. Is that the case? I'm trying to think. Have they done repaint remolds? I don't even know. Well, I mean, they have done, remolds. Well, they will be doing remolds of like Outback, but I'm trying to think. Have they done actual straight repaints on anything? Maybe not. You might be right. That's a weird piece of trivia. What are the odds FT is making Sound Blaster? I mean, I feel like it's kind of weird for them not to cash in on the mold when molds are so expensive. Oh, they have done repaints of their Dinobots. They did G2 and other versions, Diaclone versions. So Evil Ash was wrong there. Yes. Oh, he said, wait, the Dinobots. Forgot about them. Thanks, Frankie. I will enjoy my holiday. Have off tomorrow. Just actually came back from vacation with the family. Did some skiing, snowboarding, some water park stuff. So that was really nice with my extended family. 4 sets of cousins and their kids. All the kids had a really great time. Quietus and Sovereign as well. Yeah, they were repainted. Yeah, okay, so never mind, Evil Ash. You're not you didn't have a fun piece of trivia there. All right, so I think that's it for today. Thanks a lot, everyone, for joining. If you enjoyed the review, please go ahead and hit that like button. If you haven't subscribed already, would definitely appreciate that. It really does help and keep me motivated. The likes really definitely do help get some views, get the YouTube algorithm recommending my videos some more. And yeah, I do want to thank everyone for the holidays. Hope you guys have a great one. Enjoy it. Happy New Year. We'll probably do a couple more live streams before the new year. I'm not going to do another 10 days of live stream like I did last year, but I definitely will do at least a handful more before the year ends. All right. So thanks a lot, everyone. I appreciate it. As always, have a good one.